All right, guys, welcome to the Kevin Lopez podcast. Today we got my boy Chris. Chris, what's going on? How you doing today?
Dude, I am awesome.
It's good,
It's
good.
been forever since I've seen you.
It has been, and a lot has been going on. And you were telling me, with WrestleMania just passing, wrestling's in the air right now. And last I heard from you that you were making wrestling gear.
Yeah, man. I back in the day when I first got into wrestling, me and a bunch of my friends, I started making the gear for us. I
Okay,
wasn't that great at it. I was young. I wasn't that great at it, but
so
that's okay.
I'm assuming like amateur.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
What so now in as a sport, or do you travel, did it, or was it just backyard wrestling?
Oh, we traveled.
All
We
right.
traveled. We went everywhere from Maine down to Florida, North
Oh,
Carolina,
okay, all
New
right.
York. New
That's
York was a crazy one.
Oh yeah. All right, so you're into it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And you were saying that you while you were on the road, you were making clothes and gear.
Yeah, just for me and my friends. I didn't make anything for anybody else.
Yeah.
It was just for like my core 3 or 4 friends.
You and the boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
making sure you guys had that swag coming out, cuz that's involved in wrestling, you know what I mean?
I look at it now, I look at the gear I was making then, and it does not even compare, dude. It was junk. It was junk. But we were
Oh,
17, 18, 19 years old.
yeah, you had to be
It was,
resourceful.
it was different back then. What the internet wasn't a thing. So if
Yeah.
you didn't know somebody who knew somebody who made wrestling gear, you just figured it out.
You yeah. You kind of bring up a good point about the internet, cuz now how did you to really like book shows and stuff like that? You agent, or you
Yeah, back then it was you just knew people.
so like all right. So you obviously had to be talented enough to wrestle. Like were you in like backyards beating each other with bats, and then like, "Hey, I'm pretty good at this." And went to a promoter and he took you to Maine and New York or Florida?
You have to find a wrestling school.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
you have to find somebody willing to train you.
All right. Okay.
And then there's little things that and I don't even know if it still exists in wrestling anymore because of the internet.
Yeah.
You had to have a respect going into everything for everybody
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you if you didn't have the respect, if you didn't show the respect, then maybe they don't book you next time. Maybe they don't tell the next booker about you. Maybe your name doesn't get out there.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna throw you. You were a dick back then. Why would I
Help you out.
help you
Yeah.
out?
You
Why would
scratch
I?
my back, I scratch your
Yeah, there was a
back.
lot of that back then.
You probably did a show with one guy, and then he probably, hey, we're going to New York. You should tag along or something.
Exactly,
Ah, I see. I see.
exactly. There was a lot of that, so you had to have the respect. And I don't even. I haven't been backstage in a at any wrestling event in a long time, so I'm not sure what that looks like anymore. But I know that with wrestling gear, it's significantly easier to find it.
To find gear
Yeah,
because of the internet,
because of
or
the internet, you don't have to know anybody.
true. Yeah.
You put it in Google. Just Google wrestling gear, and
Yeah.
you'll get a dozen different places. You'll get people selling it on Facebook. You'll get people selling used gear. People selling it's everywhere.
Like the way you're explaining it, how I'm seeing it in my head back then, it's kind of funny. I see you in like maybe like a wrestler in the middle of New York, and they're trying to like whatever smoke a joint or grab a drink real quick, and they meet a guy in the alley, and it's like, hey, I heard you were a wrestler. I got I got a guy on 45th Street, and he got some armbands and some pants and some boots. You want in? Was it kind of like that, or?
It was more like you had to know somebody like me now.
Yeah,
But if you didn't know me, how can you order from me? But the internet
exactly.
wasn't really
Yeah,
a thing, so the people weren't there. So it was all word of mouth.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You would gear makers were like it was like old school wrestling, where old school wrestling was they were very regional,
Okay, yeah,
and it would be like this guy kind of makes the wrestling gear for this area because people know them.
yeah. So they're probably showing up to the shows and stuff.
Yeah,
Cause how else?
absolutely,
Yeah, you have to.
absolutely.
That's how you're gonna get your name.
And
Like,
now you don't have to.
yeah, cause you can just
You just
whatever
toss it,
whatever
yeah,
dot com
and you
and
toss some pictures out on Facebook, and people kidding me? I started a Facebook for Kayfabe Customs,
Yeah.
and it was maybe
So that's your thing?
yeah, that's my business.
And what is it called again?
Kayfabe Customs.
Okay.
If you're a wrestler, you will be very familiar with the terminology. It's a wrestling term meant, and which is how wrestling is now. It's completely gone. Kayfabe is gone.
All right.
Kayfabe was to keep the show. You keep the lie alive. If
All right.
I am in a feud with you,
Yeah.
and we walk down the street together, how are our fans supposed to believe that we're beating the crap out of each other when they come and watch us?
Oh.
They can't. So if
So
there's an old story, I think it was Hulk Hogan. It was definitely Hulk Hogan. There was a few of them. They were all feuding, and they were driving to the next show together, and they got pulled over, and they started beating each other and yelling at each other in the car because they had to keep kayfabe.
Yeah,
they don't like each other. They have to keep that kayfabe.
Really quick, I want to make a point that you brought that up. See, I didn't really know that, but a guy was saying how there was a recent event where he's like, when it talks about wrestlers, they're also known to keep secrets, and he's like, they keep very good secrets, and it kind of dips into that because he's saying that, dude, the Undertaker is watching a show, and he's in the suites with his family, and they're all watching it, and he says, I gotta go to the bathroom. And they're like, dude, it's been kind of long. Where is he? Next thing you know, his music comes in. And he comes out, and his wife was like, I had no idea. I had no idea. They're like, he didn't even tell you? He's like, no.
Absolutely. Because you got to get the crowd.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the only sports that does that, honestly. Because, you know, nowadays you'll hear football, oh, like that guy. And I know it's a little different, but... Well, and then off the field, they're hanging out.
That's the show side.
Yeah.
The sport part of wrestling is in the ring.
True. There's two dynamics.
There's
of that. The athletic and then the show.
The story and the show and the bigness of it. That's a whole different aspect.
Yeah.
The sport is in the ring.
So yeah, that's a whole different dynamic of wrestling. I didn't even think, because now you have to have both. Like, I could be a nasty football player and just be an ugly fuck and be an idiot, but...
And that's why the greats are the greats.
Yeah.
That's why the people like The Rock and Stone Cold and Triple H and The Undertaker, because they have both of these aspects that are just so overly large.
Yeah. All of those were from the Attitude Era. And if you're my age, that's when we were kids. That was probably the best era ever. And
it still is.
I agree.
It's so much the best. Think about it. They are running everything right now. They're running WWE. They're running NXT. They're running the talent. They're running the Attitude Era people.
Yeah.
All those big people. They're running WWE right now.
Damn, yeah, you're really...
So if people it's better right now, it's better because they're being run by the Attitude Era people. That's why it's better.
Yeah, you're right. Because I don't want to... maybe I'm wrong, but like if you think about like the era before, you know, the Hulk Hogan's, the Stings, and that, I think they were kind of just like, yeah, we're wrestlers. They were kind of just a bunch of drunks blasting steroids, and yeah, they went hard, and yeah, they left a staple. But I think the Attitude Era, they were the showmen.
Yeah,
they showed the showmanship, and they brought the business.
Yeah,
and still had the attitude.
Well, that was kind of when Vince took it from regional wrestling. Used to be the regional, like we talked about.
Okay.
Vince kind of went against that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like that era, the 90s going into the 2000s, early 90s, that whole time right there. That was when Vince took it from regional to a worldwide, a big thing. That's when that big jump happened.
Yeah.
And that's when those characters are made. That's when the Stone Colds and the Triple H's and the Shawn Michaels.
The people
D-Generation.
You remember D-Generation? Who was your favorite? I know no one just has one, but like 2 or 3 off the top of your head.
My favorite wrestler of all time is Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy. Oh, those guys are crazy.
He is. Yeah. And he's human. That's the part that I like about him. He makes mistakes. Yeah, he's been there. He's done that. and he keeps getting back up, and he keeps fixing
Yeah.
it, and he keeps coming back, and he keeps
He's still.
he
He's
keeps
still,
putting the show out there. He keeps being Jeff Hardy, and I can respect that.
Now that we're talking about this whole Attitude Era, yo, man, think about it. Imagine being in like 5th grade and your idol was Stone Cold Steve Austin, a freaking redneck cracking beers, sticking up the middle finger and giving the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was known to be in middle school and just giving the X, boom, suck it. Like, man, I remember my cousins used to come over and we just used to just beat the shit out of each other. You know, they're flying off the bed, just blah onto each other, and oh man.
Yeah, I did a lot of that.
Yeah,
I did a lot
well,
of that.
I mean, you went into it, and let's backtrack real quick if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Let's go back to when you first started making gear for your boys and you're on the road. So you're on the road, you discussed about going to the school, you're getting bookings. So what really inspired you to start making gear? Because I'm gonna assume, you know, where you said what, 17, 18, around that?
Yeah, I was young.
Yeah, so back then all of us were broke, just having fun. So you're putting off for your boys. It's pretty much saving money and still wanting to be up, you know, with the style. Is that what?
It was lack of being able to find somebody to make it.
So you couldn't just go to a store. You couldn't
Yeah,
find it at all.
No.
You couldn't go to like.
No, wrestling gear is not something that you just go. You can't go to Walmart.
Oh.
I mean, you can find like college wrestling, like Olympic wrestling gear. You can find like that, but this is different.
So during that period of time, what did you have? Were you trying to look like somebody? Were you, or what type of gear were you trying to mimic? Or just whatever you can make?
It was less about mimicking and more about attempting to create characters. So there was
for yourself.
Less for me. I was less about my character. I think I was having a great time, but I don't think I was ever going to do anything much with it.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas some of the other people, they were a little more into it and they had characters and things. So it's less about that and more like logos and names, and you want people to read who you are on your gear, so that way maybe they go looking for you.
Okay, yeah, no, true. Or you have your branding on it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Branding.
Yeah, and I'm picturing, me at 17 years old, chilling with the boys, and I'm up in Maine on maybe a vacation, and they said, hey, there's a wrestling event, and we're gonna go to it. We're 17 years old, and you're coming out, you and your boys are decked out in some gears, and these other guys are in basketball shorts and Nikes.
Exactly.
I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah. Every time you want to look like a professional. You want to look like you want to look like what they see on TV.
Yeah.
You want to look like those guys.
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
But a lot of the problem now with wrestling gear is it's all too expensive.
Yeah, I feel like everything's expensive.
All crazy expensive. You look around, you'll get charged $400, $500, $600 for stuff, like a whole setup for yourself.
Like the stuff to make it, or the stuff to purchase already made.
No, like if you were to go online and you were to attempt to get a custom gear made with your logos, with everything, maybe a set of tights, some kick pads, some knee pads, elbow pads, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend $500-$600. So what I'm doing is I'm attempting to lower that. There's a whole group of people who can't afford $500. There's a lot of them out there that are just like me. They got 2 kids. They're just trying to make ends meet, and maybe they got $150, $200.
Yeah.
But that's all they got to put into it. They're not making anything at these shows that they're doing. They're just enjoying themselves on the weekend.
Which is, I think, this is something that we should all do. Not necessarily wrestling, but something we find to enjoy.
They enjoy themselves.
And you're trying to make it affordable for them.
I'm trying to make it affordable.
And make themselves feel good about themselves and look fly.
So I've worked and I've made it so I buy excess fabrics, and I've lowered the cost down to as low as I can possibly get it.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I sell a lot of, I can get you from nothing, ready to go, some sort of bottoms, trunks, biker shorts, knee pads, kick pads. I got stuff everywhere from $100 to $200.
All right. So what I wanted to ask was, getting more into your craft. what exactly, when we say gear, what exactly does that consist of? I'm thinking like I kind of like the whole Rey Mysterio look. Like when you're like, yeah, I make wrestling gear. Like I want a fucking sick mask. Uh, you know.
Masks are something I have a problem with.
Oh, I
It's the eyes. The eyes. I can't seem to get the eyes right. There's always just one that's a little crooked,
yeah,
and I just can't seem to get that right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'll get there eventually. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean that whole thing, that's all his ring gear. So there's when it comes to wrestling gear, there's entrance gear and then there's ring gear. So you got like Ric Flair's jacket.
yeah. Kind of
That's
like
his
boxing.
entrance gear.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have his ring gear. I have not crossed too many lines into entrance gear. I've done a couple of vests.
Vest is cool. That's
You can look. You can find all that on Facebook too.
You
There's a
do
ton
like
of pictures.
wristbands and stuff. I mean, I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that's kind of common. You can find those at Walmart, but
Yeah, I got
they want custom ones.
I got wristbands that you can buy on my Etsy.
Pants, full decked out pants.
I don't have
Customized.
pants.
Shorts though.
I got the biker shorts,
All right.
trunks, kick pads, knee pads, wristbands, whole arm sleeves.
And it's all custom by you.
You could, well, yeah, I make them all right in my kitchen actually.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Dude.
There's custom ones that you can do where you take your own measurements, but I found that a lot of people don't actually like to take their own measurements.
Why?
I don't
think
know.
so.
You would think it's crazy. People ask for custom stuff, and I'm like, these are the measurements I need, and it's like pulling teeth to get them to take measurements. So what?
Because they don't know how. Are they younger? Are they young?
Even still, if I tell you to measure from your waist where you want your trunks to sit to your leg where you want them to be at,
Yeah.
it's not a difficult thing, but just people just don't seem to want to do it.
They just want a small, medium, large, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I have been doing, is working on making something a generic sizing that I can work with.
So maybe you should offer like might be a bad idea, but like maybe kind of like a tier. Hey, this is what we give you. This is what you get, and it's affordable. And then you can be like, hey, and if you want to go really good, you can get the fancy package, and we fully tailored it for you. And it just makes it sound more appealing to like, oh, this is custom just for me.
Yeah, well, usually when people will have a design ready if they want custom stuff, and they'll send you pictures. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Can you make this? And
Shit.
even then I still try to keep the prices low. The way I figured, if I can make you knee pads, kick pads, and trunks, if I can sell you that for $150 and I can put designs on stuff,
Yeah.
then putting your logos on it should only realistically cost as much as paying for the logos.
Correct.
Because the work to put the logos on is the same as putting all this other stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of work.
It's the same thing as someone giving you the idea.
Exactly.
Or a pattern.
So I just charge for what it would cost me to physically make the logo.
Yeah. See, this is to me, this is very interesting. Like, what's going on in my head right now is I'm thinking about just purchasing a crazy entrance jacket with a crazy ass logo, maybe some crazy hat that stands out, or like a ninja style headband. The ones that like kind of hang off.
Okay, yeah,
and
I could
then
make that.
just go grocery shopping.
That was out of left field. I didn't see that one coming.
Like just checking out. Like, yo, what are you looking at?
This is normal.
I'm not looking at you. You better be. You see this jacket? You see...
I actually got somebody that they messaged me today. They want me to make an evil doctor. Like a evil doctor trench coat.
Oh, that's pretty
Kind
cool.
of like a Frankenstein, where like the piece, like the vest, it's gonna be like a vest held on by like stitching to hold it on for the arms. The arms, and just different pieces. Make it into pieces.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's a sick idea.
That's gonna be a fun one.
I actually want to see that one. All right. So. I kind of want to get into the history of wrestling that in my opinion, I feel like most people don't know. I might be wrong, but I stumbled upon this. I hear it originated somewhat like carnies or like
Yeah, the carnivals.
a circus.
Carny's the correct word.
All right, so it is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I kind of want you to clear this up because in my mind, I'm thinking, back in the day, say me and you are wrestlers, we're just blah, 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 in the backyard, and we're going show to show, and we're traveling in box carts, and we're like in a video game in an RPG where you're resting at a campfire and you're smoking cigarettes and all your friends look all fucked up and you're just drinking whiskey and you're like, yeah, we got a show tomorrow. Let's rally up. And none of us are ready, but we put on an amazing show and we're just a bunch of goons doing whatever. Let's clear this up.
I mean, when it comes to behind the scenes, what they were like with each other, I'm not too sure.
All right.
Because back then that kayfabe was big.
Okay.
That's where the kayfabe became. That's where it kind of originated from. So how they were in the back, that wasn't brought out to the front.
True. Okay. Yeah.
That wasn't shown to the public. It was more. I mean, it wasn't as refined as it is today.
Well, I don't think that anything is
exactly.
Anymore.
They were probably hitting each other a little bit harder than they would today. It wasn't.
I think a lot harder.
Yeah, maybe a lot harder.
Like, I picture a guy just hitting some guy with a random pan as hard as he could, but they're so hammered they're just like, ugh, that looks great.
Yeah, back then. It was more showmanship. It was big things and shows of strength.
Yeah.
The look back at look at what you have today, and then look back at like Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Well, I think it was
like
more
the same
like
contrast.
I think now, and I think it's like anything else, like especially getting into sports or whatever. It's like if you look in the NFL and you look at the nastiest players. Let's look at Lawrence Taylor. This guy would get fucking absolutely hammered. He'd show up with his pads, regular shoes, no gloves, and just destroy everybody. And now you'll have a player that fucking sucks, and he's got the crazy gloves, the crazy shoes, the crazy this. So I think like it's across the line it's like that. In wrestling, like, hey, look at my gold teeth and look at my shirt. And I mean, I know you make gear, and but gear was always important back in the day. But it goes back into saying it was more about the strength and the look at me.
Yeah.
That's your
Exactly
mankind's that would have no teeth and just be bleeding out the head and jumping.
Mankind, that's a whole nother story. That man. Much respect to that man.
Yeah.
Much respect. All the respect. All of it.
Yep. Definitely. All right, Chris. It was definitely nice having you. Good catching up.
Yeah, man. We got to do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to do it again.
We're definitely going to get you back on, man.
Yeah, when you can do them longer, too.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
We could talk like this for hours.
Oh, definitely. So, Chris, if these people want gear from you, let them know where they can get it at.
I am on Etsy a lot. That is you could message me right now and message you in about 5 minutes. It's Kayfabe Customs. You can find me on Facebook. Facebook, you can find all my pictures and my reels, but I don't usually do too many conversations through there because Etsy's a lot easier for me, at least.
All right, guys, so that's where to get it at. So if you just see a random guy in a grocery store with a crazy-ass coat, a ninja headband, and some wristbands, just mind your business. you know where to get it at.
Just mind your business.
Don't be a hater. Don't be jealous. You know where to get the gear at. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Kevin Lopez podcast. Chris, thanks a lot for coming through. We're going to do this again.
Me, man. This was a great time.
Definitely. Always a good time. Peace out.